I believe after a few months, you should now reevaluate and tell yourself, which one do I really want to do? People should know you for certain things. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I shoot weddings. I shoot music video. My core is documentary. You will hardly see music videos on my page because what I'm trying to push, I work more with civil society, NGOs, non-government organization, and I do a lot of impactful stories. And that is what you will, even though lately, I'm more passionate about educating upcoming creators, videographers, photographers, because I realize there's this gap in the industry now. I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing or this industry thing, that there's this gatekeeping spirit that is going on. I remember seeing one of my friends' video, I think it was last year, and I was like, you used this for your video, right? And I was like, oh my God, how did you know? I thought it was an industry secret. So you know too. I'm like, must we? And what people don't know is that what sets you apart as a filmmaker, as a videographer, as a photographer, shouldn't be that your videos are clean. That is just the beginning. That is the least expected that we expect from you. The first and most important thing, of course, is that your videos are clean. But that is what we expect you to. Like, everybody's work should be clean. So that is not what we should be gatekeeping. So what it should, and I tell people, if all the videographers, photographers, content creators in Abuja are very good, then people will start respecting that. The reason why people call nonsense price for you sometimes is probably because they worked with a content creator that just came to do nonsense, and they'll be like, okay, why should I pay you 500K to shoot this thing? Because the reason is because the last time somebody came to do the same thing, it was nonsense, and they were like, and sometimes some creatives have set like really good foundation for us with some clients, that you tell clients, I've told clients for the same work, I said, pay 500K, and they're like, sound now, what is going on? That is too much. And I've told clients the charge is 5 million. They told me, okay, is that going to be like, that's going to be all? Then you will figure they've worked with professionals before. They've worked with people that know their worth, that know what they are doing. And when I'm saying you know your words, it's not just about noise. It's not just about, I've seen people talk, but when you say, oh yeah, come and do the work, when they introduce themselves, my name is so, I'm a professional content creator, oh yeah, come and do burial. You'll be using effects, that body go to fly, what is that? Some people don't even know the difference between editing a wedding. You want to edit a wedding. Bride, you want to show the bride, you're doing pion, all those transition effects. I don't have anything with transition, but is currently kind of overrated. We've abused it. And that is why we have a lot of very, very nice looking videos that are not converting. Because the focus that now in 2026, you see brand videos online, and all you can just think of is the nice edits, taking attention away from what the brand is trying to sell. What you can just see is nice video, product is flying, full. What? All you can think of is this editor is good, not I would like to buy this product. If you're that kind of editor, you are failed, because you are not helping your clients convert. And that is why you see, I recently took my content creation. I don't consider myself to be a content creator, but I recently took because I realized the way I can reach more audience is by creating content. I took a serious observation, and I realized that a video can do well, but it's still a failed video. I have videos that have done 1.3 million, 700K, 800K and I checked my analytics or whatever, and I saw 22 followers from a video that is doing 800K. And I've had videos that just did 10K with 2,000 new followers. Tell me, which one is more successful? So, and a lot of times we tend to, optimize for views and not for conversion. And as a content creator, as a videographer, the first question you should ask your client, and this is one of the ways that your clients will know that you are professional, is why are we shooting this video? What is the purpose? What is the essence of this video? But a lot of times, you just say, okay, what do you want to say? You want to say biscuits, right? Okay, don't worry. You just, the same format. You just see biscuit to be flying, come on the table, bah, smoke, pew, pew, pew. What? You want to sell biscuits? Does it even make sense? Like, okay, let's say somebody is advertising biscuits in Odop or something, is now throwing it up, catching it, throwing. Is that what you? Is it not the tasty? Is it not the feeling? How the biscuits will make me feel? Is that not what you're supposed to sell to me? Is that? I should be looking at the video and I should want to enter that screen and collect that biscuit from your hand and start eating. I was asked to speak on understanding video production and being professional as a storyteller. What have you? Of course, it's not possible for me to cover everything. I'm just going to give you points and what you can go and learn about and stuff. I believe there's nothing I want to say here today that you've not heard before. There's nothing I want to say in this place you've probably not seen online before and heard before. But most times, if you don't pay attention to things and you just see videos, what makes me different from some of you is not because I've heard more things than you. It's probably because I've acted upon the things I've heard more than some of you. And when it comes to videography, content creation, storytelling, it's not like some career that you can just read and understand. Like you learn something once, you read it, then boom, you're a good videographer. It doesn't work like that. You have to constantly, if you watch something and you don't work on it and you don't practice it, it's not a course. You can never know it. I've come to experience that we experience. And sometimes when I started this, I started filmmaking like just a few years ago. I can say officially 5 years. And when I was like 3 years to this thing, I used to feel guilty when I speak with people that have been in the industry for like 10 years and 15 years. And I'm speaking to them and I'm like asking questions. Maybe they come to me that, I would like you to show me this thing. I would like you to teach me this thing. I'm like, how long have you been doing this thing? And they say, 10 years, not so long like that, just like 10 years. And I'm like, 10 years? So I realized when people tell you they have 10 years experience in this thing, they have probably shot only 10 videos, let's say only 50 videos in that 10 years. Meanwhile, some people have shot like that 50 videos in 1 month. Okay, for instance, this year alone, on my Instagram, I've posted every day for the past, how many months have we used now? 4 months or 5 months. I've posted close to 400 videos today on Instagram this year. So you can't compare me and you that post one today and one next week, or let's say some people even post one today, one next month. Not even the posting alone. They will shoot and edit. How many videos have you shot and edited this year? If you are a learner, if you're still learning and you've not shot up to 200 videos this year, you are not serious. Okay, for instance, let's say it's going to take 1,000 videos for you to be very, very good. Would you rather split the 1,000 videos in 10 years or shoot it in 1 year? So if I've shot 1,000 videos in 1 year and you come with your 10 years experience and you've just done, let's say, 500 videos, who is more professional? Who has more experience? So experience in videography, in creative work is not just in time. It's in how much work you've put into it. Some days I shoot 4 videos and I edit the 4 videos and I make sure if I don't edit that 4 video, I will not eat, I will not sleep. Not because I want to be so cruel to myself or this thing, but I understand that it's a skill. And because it's a skill, mastering it comes from doing. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm very guilty too. I watch YouTube videos a lot. Like I spend like 5 hours a day watching YouTube. But guess what? After watching that YouTube, it does not just stop there because I've come to understand that and the reason I want to start with this is because a lot of us we are going to feel pumped after this class. We are going to feel like we've gained something. But believe me, if you don't act on it, you've wasted your teeth here. You've wasted the fine clothes you wore today. So, understanding video production and professional storytelling. Can we move to the next slide? Done with the introduction. Okay. What really makes a good video? What really makes a good video? What really makes a good video? This question is the very important question you need to ponder about. And you need to know that in this game, what is more important to you is to know what truly matters. What makes video a good video? How many of you notice that when you're watching, let's say YouTube, and the network goes bad, YouTube is going to reduce the quality of your video, but not the quality of your sound? That is because what makes 70% of your video is the sound. And that is why you will be comfortable watching a video with bad quality but with good sound, but you will never enjoy watching a good video with high quality, 12K, with bad sound. It will be disturbing you. That is because all of these things I've listed here, the story, the lights, the sound, the emotion, are as important. One is not more important than one. You can't say because sound is the most important thing now, use sound designing to finish your video and the video is just looking, you understand? But let's start with story. Storytelling is the heart of, creativity. Every video you make has to tell a story. Every video has to tell a story. And that story is going to determine the intentionality you put, how you frame your shot, how you light your scene. This light setup now, if we are shooting, let's say, a more intimate gathering, this is not going to be the light setup, the same light setup you are going to use. Because this looks like open house event. If it was an intimate, you understand? Have you ever seen white light in a club before? Why? Because it doesn't go well with the storytelling. Imagine going to a club and you can see everybody clearly like this. No smoke, everywhere is just plain, everywhere is just no black walls, just white wall and bright lights. You feel exposed and open because I don't want to say what I want to say. But storytelling is the heart of every video. And out of every creation as a creatives, we are created to create, right? So either you're doing content creation, videography, or photography for wedding, for burial, for birthday, for anything, storytelling comes first. If you are shooting for burial, you don't just go and be shooting corpse and showing us the outfits the corpse is wearing. We want to see more of the emotion behind it. How is the grandchild feeling? How is the mother feeling? How is the father feeling? How is the spouse feeling? The emotion. You want them to look, what is the essence of creating videos? Sometimes to document memories, right? You want them to look back to relive the experience. But if all they could see is corpse flying in the air, sorry, I'm a Yoruba man, in the air, and just everything effects, people coming like the car that is carrying the corpse is just pew, pew. In the next, it might even make them cry more. Like it's not good enough that they lost their dad, but now they don't even have any good memories of their dad. You understand? So storytelling, if it's a wedding, we've Nigerian wedding videography or photography industry have moved from storytelling to just glamour. People now, a lot of clients are also guilty of this. They want what is nice for Instagram. They really don't want you to tell the story. They really don't want you to show the, not so good part. The reason why videographers in the early years used to show shoes, dresses, and stuff is because, people really spend money buying those things. Some buys this designer shoes, customized shoes and all. But you still see somebody that the whole entire budget for the wedding is about 2 million naira. They are still showing his shoe that he has worn before. They are still showing us shoe as introduction, dress that is like, no shade. But the point is, if you look at that kind of event, there are more serious stories that could have been told that were left just for Instagram views or how you're going to feel at the moment. Then when you look back to even look at your wedding videos, there's nothing to show, no emotion. We can't even see how your dad was crying when your husband was taking you down the aisle because the videographers were just focused on your shoe and all of that. So you have to be very intentional. And when it comes to content creation, every content creation that you see that is trending now is probably trending because of the story. A lot of people will say, I realized something of recent that almost every video I shot on my phone. this year did better than the ones I shot on camera. Then I was like, what happened? Then I realized when I'm just using my phone, I'm not thinking about the technical aspect. I'm just thinking about storytelling. Something important is happening that I'm documenting. Sometimes not only sometimes, every time, good storytelling is better than great angles. And that is why you see online sometimes, you see videos doing 20 million views with phone, just one random video in the house, but you stop to watch it and you're wondering why. But your videos, you are wondering why you set camera shot on 12K, 6K, 7K, whatever K you shot on, and nobody is watching. Even you cannot watch your video 2 times. After you do, you just scroll because you cannot even gain anything. There's no story. Your video has to benefit people, your viewers, and you have to have a particular niche. What kind of people do you want? What kind of audience do you want to reach? And they should determine the kind of story you want to tell. Because you can't be looking for this kind of audience and be optimizing for this kind of audience. I realized early enough that I needed to optimize for conversion and not for views, because I'm an educator, documentary filmmakers. The clients I want are young filmmakers, right? To come for knowledge, for my classes and all of that. I want organizations to come for me to tell their stories. I want individuals to come for me to tell their stories. And if I'm making content that is just making the whole world laugh and it's just bringing random people to my niche, that is where you have 2 million. I saw creators with 2 million views, 1 million, I said 2 million views, 1 million followers begging for adverts before they can hit. And that is not the way to go. So what happens when Elon Musk decides to close down everything? Or Mark decides to close down Facebook and TikTok? Okay, let me give you guys this thing. I told you I started taking my content creation game serious this year, right? And since I started this year, I started my Instagram at less than 1K. I'm currently at 10K. I started my TikTok like 18K. I was already doing well on TikTok, and now I'm at 30K plus. But guess how much I've made from AdSense, like money, Elon Musk or whatever is paying me. I've not made up to $5. But guess how much I've made from my conversion, from my products? I've made close to $10,000 this year alone. That is why you see people being overly I don't know what to call it. People doing nonsense online because they just want that view. Because the only thing that is giving money, putting money in their pocket is that view. They are just optimizing for view. That is why you see that dancing alone is not enough. Let me go and be snatching people's bag on the streets. Senseless things. So that I can just have more view. Because without that view, they cannot chop. Well, as a creator, when you tell good stories, you reach the right audience and you are able to convert. I don't know why I'm tilting towards the content creators part self. This should be a videographer strictly class. Okay, so lighting. Lighting is like the heart of storytelling. Lighting is so important. Lighting is what really creates the emotion. The same scene with different lighting tells a different story. Story is what we do with all of this thing. We use light to tell stories, we use sound to tell stories. Emotion is also important. But you see, lighting, like I made an example earlier about club and stuff. And this is where I see a lot of people. In fact, I was watching one Nigerian movies. I don't like to say I don't like watching Nigerian movies, but that's the truth. I saw Ginger. How many of us have seen Ginger? Ginger. But it's fine. The videos are fine. They are clean. But the lightings are so wrong. Ask me why. If it's a movie, right? And we are trying to, when you're shooting a movie, you have to be very careful when you're shooting movies or documentary, because movie and documentary, you don't want me to know where your light is coming from. You don't want anything that looks artificial. That's why I love Japanese movie a lot. They don't, what's it called? Exaggerate unnecessarily. This place is littered with natural lights, right? If we are going to light this thing for a movie set, and we want to off this light, why is yellow light coming from here during the day? And red light is behind TV, everywhere is red and yellow. Are we shooting TikTok content? Is this a YouTube tutorial videos? And that was everything I saw in Ginger. You will see normal door, you will see heavy fog lights, heavy white fog light coming from it. Like, is it stage play? You understand? You're shooting a movie, then we can. We have even seen one before that. A Nigerian movie that was trending on TikTok. Then they were shooting a movie and they showed the guy that was holding the mic. How many of you have seen that video? They showed the guy holding the mic by mistake, and the editor did not remove it. So, but lighting, in fact, that is one of my key. That is one of my. We are still going to go deeply into that later. That is one of my key. That is one of the thing I enjoy a lot. In fact, my clients complain, have we not done setting up? Because I will make sure. And lighting is what really makes your color grading pops out. Most things that you see and you say, oh my God, this color grading is so nice. What you're seeing is lighting. What you're seeing is the intentionality that comes with the cinematography. Then the next one is sound. Sound designing, we cannot emphasize that. I told you, sound makes 70% of your videos. If you have a bad sound, you have a bad film. You can't tell good stories without great sound. Sound design is not always, when I'm working at this, film. No, it's not just about that. Natural sound design, where it is necessary, important ones, where you need to put it, right? So, and the emotion, you need to know what makes a good video. You need to know what emotion are you going for. What emotion are you going for? If I'm addressing creators and I'm talking about something that is really sad, maybe how unserious creators are in Nigeria, and I'm just putting bright lights. I'm wearing yellow, bright light, white light, pink light, blue light. Everywhere is just bright. We just know that something is giving oxymoron, happy and sad at the same time. But let's say everywhere is dark. I'm in a dark room, using the lights from above like this, putting a little bit of fog light, giving me that shadow look, giving me that sad look, and that kind of calm, sad, and I'm addressing creators. It makes more sense. Or let's say I'm talking about my wife, my beautiful wife. Yes, I'm married. The way you people are looking at me. So, and I'm just like, the setting is not just giving, let's say it's a documentary about, love story and all of that. And you're shooting it in a dark room, and let's say it's one sad soundtrack, and you are now, it's giving, okay, is it happy married life or oh, tribute. I want to move to the next one, please. Most beginners think camera comes first, but it does not. It does not. It does not. If I ask you now, how many of you don't own a camera, like you want to get a camera very soon? Let's say upcoming videographer, photographer, right? Have you started creating content? Okay. Have you started creating content too? Why have you not started? Because you don't have a camera, right? Huh? Yeah, okay. You are telling yourself the truth now that you are playing. You wanted to say something? Okay. So a lot of people, we've all fall for these lies that, what really matters is having good gears. Fine, good gears, cameras, nice, everything good. But you need to understand that if you don't understand these things, I'm tired, especially in Abuja, of seeing heavy gears during events. And when the output comes out, it's trash. Enough is enough. It's getting too much in this city. You will go to events, see people with Blackmagic 12K, 6K, body cam, FX6, FX9. Then results will come out, you'll be like, you should have just hired a content creator. I beg. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And maybe that's why some of these organizations are not taking us serious. It is not by heavy equipment. Because you can afford FX6 or FX9 does not mean you should buy it. Look for what is good for you. There are different cameras for different purposes, but no, everybody wants to buy FX3. Meanwhile, if you're a creator, what you do is content creation, you don't really need an FX3. ZV-1 has the same sensor. A7S3 has the same sensor, cheaper, made for lighter stuffs, and that is what you need. And sometimes when gear is too much, it stops you from creating. In fact, there was a time I fell for that trap that I will think, I don't want to shoot this thing until I have this thing. I will buy it. I don't want to shoot. When you buy it, the moment you solve one problem, you see 1001 new problems. So let's say we want to shoot a YouTube video, right? You can come. We want to shoot a YouTube video. Then where's the monitor? So that means we can transmit, right, to the TV from the monitor.
Yeah, but we can send directly now.
So that we can just without HDMI cord. So I will use the monitor. You transmit directly to the TV. You just plug one of these to the TV. You can have your seat. So one thing you want to do, the first thing is to make sure your tripod is on your subject eye level, not above, not below, except that is the concept you're going for. And you know how it makes your subject looks now. If it's above, it makes them look overpowered. If it's below, it makes them look powerful. Depending, if you're not shooting movie, you just want to shoot talking head. There are different framing methods, but we can't be touching everything here. But we are just going to do two style, a documentary style, and let's say content creation kind of thing. Shall we do vertical or horizontal? This screen is horizontal, but so we can't do vertical. When I was talking about things that are important to get, stabilization is one of the most important things. Stabilization can be a tripod, it can be a gimbal. But if you're starting out, the first thing you should get is a tripod now, you know. Where's my camera? So one thing about documentary filmmaker is it's in a third person's view, right? You don't want the subject looking at the camera directly. And you don't also want to put the subject at the center, except the subject is in a place of authority in the story. But let's say we're just interviewing her to know her opinion about certain things, then we don't need that to be in the front. So that is how I said your framing affects your storytelling. Every decision you make, your lighting and everything affects your storytelling. So how many lights do we have that I can use? This and what? I will check. So can I unplug this? What was the first rule for lighting?
So I don't think we can just grab
Oh, they can't see the screen? Okay. Why is your display having blue tints like this? But we'll figure that later. Okay. So the first rule is to make sure your light is as close as the subject, right? And if you are shooting this style of content, try as much as possible to shoot from the shadow side. You have more depth when you shoot from the shadow side. What I mean is that I'm going to be lighting this subject primarily from this angle. So I'm going to be shooting from this angle. I'm not going to be shooting from the same direction the light is coming so that we can have depth. Can we switch up this light, please?
this one.
Yes. And that was also very important. Before you start shooting, turn off the lights in the room. Yeah. So you see that we even have a camera, no ash lights, no uncontrolled lighting coming from different angles. Can we switch up this one too, please? Thank you. So because I'm shooting from that side, I'm going to be lighting up from this side. Please, can you plug this one? I would have preferred to use this kind of softbox because it will help me shape my light better. This is more for few lights to just make everywhere bright, but the angle you place it is still going to determine how it's going to shape your light. So where do we control it? So the first thing I do is that I get my settings right first in my camera, then I do the rest in lights. I want to shoot on 25 frames per second, which is the normal cinematic frame rate, right? And there's a rule to it, the rule of third for exposure triangle is that okay. So for the rule of third for exposure triangle is that your shutter speed has to double your frame rate. So if you're shooting on 25 frames per second, you should be shooting 1 over 50. If you're shooting on 50 frames per second, you should be shooting 1 over 100, or 60 frames per second, 1 over 125. Yeah. So I'm shooting on I'm shooting on 25 frames per second. So I'm shooting on 25 frames per second, right? So my aperture is locked on 50, right? And I said something about ISO, right? When you're shooting in log, that you should always use your base ISO. The base ISO for this camera is Sony FX30, is 800. So I'm not going below, I'm not going above. I'm going to be stuck at 800. You can even see that from the last shoot I did, without touching anything, is already there. I didn't have to do anything. So everything I'm going to be doing now is going to be on my lighting. But I want to increase the aperture. The aperture is on f1.8. I'm going to put it on f1.4 because I want a very shallow depth of field. So you can already see that we are shooting from the shadow side, right? This part of our face is darker than this part. And that is what will give you that cinematic. Can we correct the settings of this TV? The blue is too much. Yeah. Your white balance is very, very... Oh, I think I might know why. Yeah. So my white balance, the last time there's a trick I do. One of the ways to shoot and color grade directly from camera, like the way I call it, is to play with my white balance. So I tricked my camera by letting it see white as blue. Because my white balance is at 3000 Kelvin, everything that is white in this frame is going to be looking bluish. Because that is what white balance does. It tweaks the light settings of your camera. So I'm going to go to white balance because I want just normal look. No creative shots here. I'm going to set it to 4700, which I believe is the sweet spot for dark skin. I use 4700 or 4800 as my sweet spot for dark skin. So you see that we're already having accurate colors now. So I'm going to reduce. So I'm going to change the white balance of this light, my key light, to be 4800 or 4700 too. So 4700, then the intensity, I will start from 0. You can see that we didn't have to use so much light. I'm on 1%, sorry. I'm on 1%. For this big light, I'm on 1%. I didn't have to use so much light compared to when I'm behind. Like when I'm far away from the light, then I have to use, to give me the same effect. So the closer you are, most times on my talking head, I even use 600 watts light and I stay on 2%. I'm going to come on 1% until you can go closer, until you can't see it in your frame again, right? Until we can't see it in your frame again. Then, to make my background interesting, you have to, I can't hold this mic, okay. If you're using one light setup, this is good. Like, this is all you need to do. Make sure you get your exposure right, shoot from the shadow side, and in case you're in a very dark room, this place might be too black. So there are 2 ways to do this thing. If you are too broke to get another light, just get another, what's it called? Reflector. You know what we call reflector? To reflect this light slightly to this side, not too close, so that you can just have this view. You can see this place is darker, but it's not visible. It's still visible. Make sure it's visible. So if it's too dark, you can bring a reflector and lift it, or you should just bring a small light, take it backward a bit to just lift it a bit, right? So now, to make the background interesting, if you are using 2 light setup and you want to use the second light, can I bring that light, please? I will put the light opposite this other light to really, really separate my subject from the background. I mean, we have large room here. We are able to separate our subject from the background. But I want to, okay, this light was on before, right? You can see the effects, right? Now we have a more cinematic. Hey, sorry. So we have a more cinematic image now. The more you are able to control your lighting, like I said, lighting is not just about the intensity of your light. It's the intentionality of how you shape your subject and how you shape the environment. So now I want this light to just, the purpose of this light is to light our subject, right? I want this one to separate her from the background. Because sometimes you don't have the luxury of this space, especially for people that shoot in very tight spaces. So I just want a light that is going to highlight this part of her body to show that she's really separated from the background. So we're going to move it to the back. Can you help me? Make sure your lights are not showing, no. Can we reduce it? Intensity. So Serene, then for this back one, make sure you are using a diffuser, something that can control the light. Because if we remove this thing, it's just going to spill everywhere. So, but because we have this thing, we are able to control the light. So I'm going to be checking my screen to see. No, it's too much. Can you move that thing to the back? Can we reduce the intensity? Make sure your light is not showing. It's too harsh. Make sure your skin is not burning. Even though this skin that is burning, social media likes it. It looks quality on your phone. When you have burning skin at the edge like this, some are very weird stuff, you know. That's why you don't have to be too rigid sometimes. I've realized when it's burning, not too burning, not that your skin will now be very white, though, but when it's a little bit burning like this and you export it on your phone, it looks like it's quality, but no, for normal movie production, it's burning. So I'm going to go back and reduce it. So we are on 4% here. We're on 4% here. We're on 4% here. And now we have it. I think it's too much on this side. I'm going to bring it to the back. You see how low the intensity of our light is? And we are able to achieve such a beautiful look. So sometimes what I do to mimic window effects, I have these lights. To mimic window effects sometimes, we have the much expensive ones, but these ones you can get it for as low as 150, 140K. I'll just put this on a stand like this. So because the main source of light is coming from here. Where's the mic? Okay, thank you. So because I want to see where the light is starting from. Go forward a bit. In the camera, go forward. So because our main source of light is coming from here, this light is going to trick your brain like it's the same light that is lighting this place, that is also lighting our face, right? When you look at this video, if they ask you that how many light, you just feel like it's the same light that is coming from there. But if we use this same light to try to light that place, and if we use the same light to try to light that place and also light our face, it will be impossible to achieve this kind of look. The fact that something looks a certain way does not mean that is how we achieved it. So that is why we use a lot of practical light. Sometimes if I have luxury of time or if I have more light, I'll just place, a small, yellow lamp here. Then the intensity will be low, like 1%. Then this one, I will now turn it to yellow. So you will now be tricked. You will think it's that yellow lamp that is standing here that is giving us the yellow feel here. Clap for me now. I'm done.